Hi everybody, and welcome to my Virtual Summit presentation for the National Foreign Language Centre. It's a real honour to be here and I really appreciate the opportunity. So let's make a start. In this particular session, what we're going to be talking about is promoting an inclusive approach with tips on accessibility using technology. My name is Joe Dell. I'm a former languages teacher. I taught secondary school French for 3 years and then 10 years at middle school on the Isle of Wight, which is where I live in the UK. And for the last 12 years or so, I've been an independent languages consultant, normally traveling around the world running training and speaking at conferences on the use of technology and how it can enhance language learning. But since the pandemic, I've been doing most of my work via webinars. So it's really lovely to be here with everybody. So you can see that my Twitter handle is on the screen there. It's just at Joe Dale. I now have over 34,000 followers on Twitter. And you'll see as well that my email address is joedell@talk21.com as well. So feel free to get in touch with me after watching this presentation. You'll see as well that I have closed captions on the screen. That is because I'm running my session through Zoom, but I'm recording using the third-party tool Camtasia, because when you enable closed captions in Zoom and record the session, the closed captions only appear live, they don't appear on the recording. So this is a way in which you can see the closed captions for those people that need that, and you can hear my voice at the same time. So that's great. Okay, so in this particular session, what we're going to do is look at the following tools which allow you to promote accessibility in the classroom, looking at things such as Naturalreader, Speak Selection, Immersive Reader, Helperbird, Microsoft Lens, grabbing image text with Google Keep and PhotoScan, using an online voice recorder and generating a transcript in Word, using voice typing and dictate as well to save time and to help with pronunciation. And then a few ideas around closed captions in Google Slides, PowerPoint, Flipgrid as well, and also some ideas around Book Creator and how to add closed captions in Book Creator as well as some other ideas. So that's what we're going to try and do in our time together. So to start off with, there's Naturalreader in Chrome and iOS. Naturalreader is a completely free website which allows you to take a text, put it into Naturalreader, and then have it read back to you in the language that you choose. The sound of the language, the sound of the voice is a little bit robotic, but it does do a good job. You've also got the Chrome extension, which allows you to run a little player on the screen as well. So you just launch the Naturalreader Chrome extension, having selected the text, and it will read the text back to you again. You have all the same functionality as in the online reader. And for iOS users as well, you have the Naturalreader app, which allows you to essentially have the same functionality. You can take the text and put it into the app, and it will then read it back to you. So lots of different ideas there. You've got the links there to where you can find the different resources. The app is also available on Android as well. So this is great, I think, for practicing independence with the students. They can hear the text read back to them as many times as they need to, and that should help them with their pronunciation and with their general understanding. For free, you can't download the speech as an MP3 file. That's a paid-for feature, but you could record the screen using an online screen recorder to capture that system audio if you wanted to. Okay, so that's Naturalreader. In iOS as well, there's what's called Speak Selection. So to activate that, you go to the Settings app, you then go to Accessibility, and you go to where it says Speak Selection. So you make sure that's turned on. As a result of that, whenever you highlight text with the little menu bar that comes up, you'll see that one of the options is Speak. You tap on that, and it will then read it back to you in that language. And you can choose the speaking rate. As you can see at the bottom there, you've got the hare and the tortoise. So you can just move the slider from the left to the right or the right to the left in order to make the voice speak more quickly or more slowly. Likewise with Naturalreader as well. You can also change the speed. You can change the if it's a male voice or a female voice, and so on and so forth. So it's great to see nowadays that in modern tools and devices and websites that there are lots of ideas around accessibility and promoting accessibility amongst students. This is one of my favorite Chrome extensions. It's called Use Immersive Reader on websites. If you haven't seen Immersive Reader before, it's a Microsoft tool that comes bundled with lots of different Microsoft tools such as Word Online. So in Word Online, if you've written a text or you've copied it and pasted a text into Word Online, you can have it read back to you with Immersive Reader. But this is an unofficial Chrome extension, not from Microsoft, but it does the same task. So what it allows you to do is you can take a text from a website, you can right-click it, select it, right-click it, and click on the Use Immersive Reader on Websites icon. That will then, as you can see on the screen, that will then launch Immersive Reader, and you can then do things like have it read back to you. It will automatically recognize the language. You just click on the play button and it will read it back to you. You can change the speed. Again, as I've said already, as with other examples of accessibility tools, you can change the voice from male to female. You can also click on some different text features. For example, you can choose that all the nouns are in a certain color, all the verbs are in a certain color, all the adjectives, all the adverbs, etc. So that can help from a language learning point of view to identify the different parts of speech in the text that you have. You can also choose the syllables as well. If you want to have the syllables broken down, that's fine. You can have the little icons, little labels appearing over each word saying whether they're a noun or a verb, etc. You can even choose to have the text divided into different lines so that you can only see one line at a time, which is like the 21st century way of having the ruler underneath a line when you're reading through a book to help the students to focus on what's on that particular line. You can also enable a picture dictionary, so you can click on certain nouns in the text and an image will appear, and if there isn't an image for that particular word, then you will get the text instead, which allows you to then click on that and listen back to the pronunciation. You can also enable translation, so you can translate the whole text, or what could be equally useful is you can turn on the translate by word and then translate individual words as a way of promoting independence. So there's lots of ways in which you can use Immersive Reader, and this Chrome extension means that on any website that you are coming across, you can use Immersive Reader straight from your browser, which is absolutely fabulous. Okay, let's carry on. Another similar Chrome extension which has Immersive Reader as well as some other accessibility features is Helperbird. Helperbird works in the Chrome browser. Again, you just go to the Chrome Web Store and install Helperbird, and then you've also got Helperbird as an add-on in Google Docs. So in Google Docs, you simply go to the extensions option, you click on add-ons, get add-ons, you search for Helperbird, and then you can then install it from there. So a bit like with Word, you've got Immersive Reader built in. You can have the Immersive Reader via Helperbird automatically integrated within Google Docs as well as in the Chrome browser. So that's another thing to think about to help with accessibility. Another tool from Microsoft is Microsoft Lens. It used to be called Office Lens, and what that allows you to do is it allows you to scan a piece of paper, which could be, say, a paper worksheet, digitize it. You can see in the middle picture there that you've got the handles in each corner of the piece of paper. That will then flatten the scan, and you can then export that as a PDF if you wanted to have a PDF version of a paper worksheet, which would then allow you to annotate over the top of it using a Chrome extension such as Kami, that's K-A-M-I, or there's also the Immersive Reader functionality within Microsoft Lens, which means that you are essentially running an OCR scan onto the digitized version of the paper worksheet, and then you can then use all the different features I've talked about already in Immersive Reader, but in the app on an iOS or an Android device. So Microsoft Lens is a very, very powerful way of being able to digitize paper worksheets. You'll see here that I've included a little YouTube clip from Desi Tennyson, who's based in Northern Ireland. He's also an Apple Distinguished Educator, and he goes through exactly the steps that are required for doing exactly what I've just been talking about. Okay, right, let's go on to the next slide. So this is another way of being able to grab the image text from an image of some text. So this is called PhotoScan. It's a Microsoft tool. You can get it on the Microsoft App Store. So once you've installed it, in the example on the left hand side here, this has been taken from a webinar that Rebecca Jones did for the Association for Language Learning, and you can see that she's got an image of some text, and by running it through PhotoScan she's able to extract or OCR the image to extract the text in French and then that would then become an editable text that she would be able to copy and put into another platform, or make into a worksheet, or whatever it might be that you want to do. And this is what the icon looks like on the Microsoft Web Store, if you wanted to, or the App Store, I mean, if you wanted to install that on your own Windows machine. Now, for Google users, there is the Google Keep add-on. There is a Chrome extension, but the Google Keep app or web tool. So you can also grab image text with that. What you do is you take a picture of the text, you upload it into Google Keep, and then you'll see here on the left-hand side in this graphic, you click on the three dots here, and you select Grab Image Text. That will then do exactly the same as with PhotoScan. It will then take out the text from the image, and it will put it underneath and make it editable. You can also copy that editable text into a Google Doc. You see here it says copy to Google Doc, so that's easy as well. And what I particularly like about Google Keep is the way in which you can actually grab the image text, even if it is a handwritten example. So here, what I've done is on a piece of paper, I've written the words, "This is a test," and you can see by watching this animated GIF that it does exactly that. It grabs the handwriting and turns it into digitized text, which is fabulous. And I've made that graphic using an amazing GIF tool called gifcap.dev, which allows you to record your screen, but instead of making that into a video, it makes it into an animated GIF. So this is a great way of showing simple processes that take a few seconds, but then can be looped forever to see how something works. And then you can see here we have a tweet from Jérôme Nogues, who is showing how you can also use OCR in Google Drive. So you can upload an image of some text in Google Drive. You can then open it with Google Docs, and it will then again take out the text and put it underneath the image. So lots of ways in which you can use Google tools and Microsoft tools for grabbing image text or for performing OCR on your different images. Okay, this is an article which I would really recommend having a look at. It's called Tools to Support Students with Dyslexia. I'm not going to go through the whole article right now, but you've got the link bottom left here, and it just gives some different instructions from Holly Murray and Sarah Gibbons on tools such as Helperbird, Wakelet, which has Immersive Reader built in, Google Docs, Google Lens, which allows you to take a picture of of an object, and it will then tell you what that object is. So if I took a picture of myself, it might say very good looking man in his mid-30s with brown hair and blue eyes. You get the idea. Seeing AI is a similar type of tool. Microsoft Lens I've talked about, and Immersive Reader I've talked about as well. So do have a look at that article, because it gives you lots of ideas on how you can support students with dyslexia. Okay, let's carry on. Another idea that you can use for accessibility is for generating a transcript. So you could, for example, record some audio using an online tool such as Online Voice Recorder or Vocaroo, which allows you to record an MP3 file really simply and easily. Having done that, you can then download that audio file and go to Microsoft Word Online, go to where it says Dictate and click on the little arrow here, and then click on Transcribe. You can then upload the audio and wait a minute or two, and it will then turn that audio into a transcript based on what you've said, and it is very accurate. You can change the language as well, so it recognizes what the language is, which is straightforward, and it does a really good job in being able to transcribe any audio. For free, you can have up to 300 minutes per month, which is, I think, very generous. Jérôme Nogues, who I've mentioned already, he's also created a little tutorial here on his YouTube channel, Learning with Jay, called inserting a YouTube video in Word Online and getting the transcript. So that goes through how you can not only take an audio file and turn that into a transcript, but how you can also make a transcript from an existing YouTube video. The hack for doing that in a Google Doc is to use what's called voice typing, whereby you can turn on voice typing, play the video, say on a second device, into the microphone on your laptop or your Windows machine or your Mac, and it will then create a transcript that way. That's another way of generating a transcript, but I think that the Word version is more straightforward. Okay, talking of voice typing, this is a little graphic I've put together, or set of graphics I've put together to explain how voice typing works. So in Google Docs, you click on the Tools menu, you click on voice typing, That will then bring up the microphone, which you have to enable. You can then click directly on the microphone and start to speak in the language which has been selected. If you want to change the language, you can click on the drop down menu, choose the language. As in this example here, I've chosen French. I then speak in French, and then it will then turn my voice into text, which is brilliant. You'll also see here as well that I have a little YouTube clip here around voice typing, which goes into even more detail about how you can actually use your voice to enable punctuation and emboldening words and going to a new paragraph. And you'll see as well here that we have a tweet from Christina Panadero, where she's talking about using voice typing in Google Docs. So what she's doing is she's playing the video and she's generating a transcript that way, in the way that I just talked about. In that example, actually what she's doing, she's splitting the screen. So she's got the video on one side, and then she's then playing the video and then recording, generating the transcript by clicking on the microphone. So that's another really nice idea, I think, for accessibility. And then here,
daughter here, how the heck you doing this fine day?
Okay, and then here we have the Microsoft Word equivalent. So you can see that what you do is you click on the dictate option in Word. You then configure the microphone. You have to obviously give permission for the microphone to access Word, as you do with Google Docs. Once you've done that, you then choose the language that you want to speak in. And then once you've done that, you can then click on the microphone, which allows you to then hear your voice. You speak into the microphone, and it will then turn your voice into text. So this is really nice, I think, for saving time, for practicing pronunciation, and for accessibility, because there will be some students who maybe can speak well in the target language but aren't as good at writing. So by getting their thoughts down digitally in Google Docs or in Word Online can be a great way of releasing their creativity, and for the teacher to understand what it is they're trying to say, which might be easier in the spoken form as in the written form if they're having to write it from scratch. So those are a few other ideas to help you get started. Also within Google Slides, you have closed captions, which is very nice. The way to access that is by clicking on the three dots in slideshow mode, choosing caption preferences, and then choosing the text position, either having the text appearing at the bottom or at the top, choosing the text size, and then clicking on the toggle captions. Now, annoyingly at the moment this is only available in English, but that could also be useful for you depending on your context. If you're teaching students where English is their second language, for example, that could be helpful, but at the moment it's only available in English, not available in other languages. But for PowerPoint, the equivalent is this. You can click on the slideshow option, and then you can then click on the subtitle settings, and you can enable the language which you're speaking at the time. So for example, I can be speaking in English, but I could then be choosing the subtitled language, and that could be English, but it could be a different language. It could be French, German, Spanish, etc. And what will happen is you'll be speaking in English, and then the subtitles will be appearing according to the language that you've chosen. So for example, recently when I was showing this to a group of European teachers, they got very excited about the fact they could be speaking, for example, in German, but the subtitles could be in Ukrainian. So for those schools who are accepting in Ukrainian students, this could be a great way of making the PowerPoint presentation more accessible to them, because they could read the subtitles in Ukrainian. And I think that's a really, really nice idea, and they absolutely loved it, I must say. Okay, so let's carry on. This is a little video clip from Mike Tolfson, who works for Microsoft in the education department, just going through how you can enable live captions in OneNote. So if you're using Microsoft tools, that could be a really helpful feature for you as well to explore. Okay.
I'll be showing the brand new OneNote live captions feature.
Okay, let's carry on. You also can have closed captions within Book Creator. So for those people that haven't seen Book Creator before, it's a really fantastic web tool which, as the name implies, allows you to create ebooks. What you can do in the case of closed captions is you can click on the plus icon, you can click on the record option, so the camera option. You can then enable the video. Once you've done that, you can then record your video and then click on the eye icon. Having selected the video that then appears, you click on the add captions option, and having done that, that will allow you to then enable captions. They will automatically be generated once you've automatically generated them, which takes a minute or two, you can then edit those captions and they'll automatically be added to the video, as I've tried to show in the example on the right hand side. So that's a really quick and easy way, I think, of being able to caption any videos that you have in Book Creator. Also in Book Creator, there's the read to me option, which means that you can, once you're playing your book as a preview, you can click on the read to me option and it will read back any text which you've put into the book, such as titles or descriptions or paragraphs, etc. It will read back to you in the language that you've enabled within Book Creator within Chrome. So that's another way in which you can promote accessibility in different languages with Book Creator. Okay, and this is the actual read to me example. So as you can see here, what I've done here is I've got a background image which I've taken from the image search within Book Creator, which is a royalty-free image search. I've then gone to another website called photosforclass.com and I found a picture of a man. I've just done a search for man. This picture had a different background. The man who is making a note on a pad on his knee, it had a different background. So what I did was I took that picture that I found on Photos for Class and I uploaded it to remove.bg, which is a website which allows you to remove the background from any image. And as a result of that, I was able to remove the background, download it back to my computer and upload it into Book Creator. I then added a speech bubble and a thinking bubble. I recorded my audio using the recording option. I then put the loudspeaker icon over the top of each bubble and I selected the loudspeaker icon and I went to the eye icon and selected make the audio invisible. So by doing that, it meant that I could create my own personalized narrated photo story. Okay, so that's got nothing to do with read to me, but if you then click on the read to me option, if you hadn't recorded your audio and made it invisible, then it would simply read back the text to you and each word will be highlighted in yellow, as you can see in the example there, until you've read the whole text. Not only in speech bubbles, but any text within your book, it will do that with. And there's also dictation as well in Book Creator, which again can be helpful for accessibility, similar to voice typing and dictate in Word. So here what you can do is you click on the plus icon, you click on the text option, and you'll notice that there's a little microphone top right of the screen. You click on that, you then select the language. I have selected French here, as you can see, and then I talk in that language and it will then turn my voice into text. So if you wanted to get the ideas down into the book without writing, just using your voice, practicing your pronunciation and your speaking, then using the dictation option in Book Creator is a great way to do that. And I've also shared a link here for you from Book Creator around different ideas for supporting language learners with Book Creator, which I think you'll find really useful as well. There's the read to me option that you can see here, which you can see when you press the preview or the play triangle, which is top right of the screen in edit mode. So that's Book Creator. Okay, in Flipgrid, I'm sure you all know Flipgrid. Flipgrid also has closed captions built in as well. So whenever you've recorded any videos in Flipgrid, all you have to do is in the settings for a particular topic, you click on Edit Topic. You then go to the closed captions option. You then choose the language that you want the closed captions to be generated in to enable it. Then having done that, you go to the teacher dashboard. You click on an individual video and you click on closed captions, and then again you have to wait a minute or two for it to generate, but you can then see what the captions are. You can edit them as you can in Book Creator, and you can download the whole transcript as well if you wanted to as well. So that, again, that can be very useful for making those sound spelling links by being able to see your voice on the video, the subtitles appearing with the text as well, and being able to download those captions and then repurpose them, put them into something else. For example, if you wanted to make let's say a Google Doc or a Word Online transcript of the captions that you produced in Flipgrid. So again, very, very useful, I think, for accessibility reasons. Another idea around accessibility is TextHelp. If you haven't seen TextHelp before, then I would recommend having a look at this webinar that I did with all about sort of TextHelp, and this is a really, really useful run through by Alison Woodrow. who used to be a languages teacher herself, and she explains how TextHelp have got different tools which help with inclusive language learning. For example, there's the Read and Write Chrome extension, which Darren White, who's known as Rango the Trainer on Twitter, is tweeting about here, and he's also very kindly done a little video tutorial explaining how you can use Read and Write in the classroom as well to help those students that need that little bit of extra support as well. But I would really recommend watching this webinar here, because Alison goes through all the different ways in which TextHelp can help with accessibility. Some of those are free, but not all of them are free. Okay, so welcome. There we are. And just a thought, if you found this video interesting and you'd like a bit more support on different ideas on either online teaching or remote teaching or face-to-face teaching or hybrid teaching, then what I've done is I put together this Google Doc here, which you can access via the QR code. I put the link at the bottom here as well, and I put together 18 example sessions that I can put together for you. You can cherry pick the things you particularly like, and I can design a bespoke session for you as a webinar for your individual school, for your district, whatever you would like. So do let me know if that would be something that is interesting to you. And here is the QR code and the short URL for the presentation. I really hope that you found this useful, and it's given you lots of practical ideas on how you can use different web tools and apps to promote accessibility. It's been an absolute pleasure to be here. Thank you so much to the organisers for giving me this opportunity, and I really hope that we can stay in touch and reach out if you'd like to, so that you can get some more ideas. Follow me on Twitter if you're not already, and connect with me, and we can then go from there. But thank you so much for watching this video. I appreciate that there are lots of recorded videos to watch, so I really appreciate you having the time to watch this one, and I really hope sincerely that you found it useful. Okay, so just to finish, here's my last slide. Thank you again to everybody, and enjoy the rest of your virtual summit. It's been amazing to be part of it. Thank you. Bye for now.